health problem. One final real-world observation: the traditional Okinawans ate one of the lowest fat diets ever documented. About 6% of calories from fat, lower than McDougall or Esselstyn or Ornish and the rest. Yet researchers estimated their diet still supplied about 110% of the recommended intake of vitamin A, largely from sweet potatoes and other carotenoid-rich plants. So here's my question. If one of the longest-lived populations ever studied with one of the highest concentrations of centenarians on Earth could get plenty of vitamin A on one of the lowest fat diets on the planet, why are healthy vegans today being told to add nuts or avocado or olive oil to every salad? The best nutrition advice starts with a real problem, then looks for the solution, not the other way around. I'm Jeff Nelson. Thanks for watching. By the way, if you want to watch a video that drills down on what these mechanisms are and the salad dressing studies that Dr. Greger and Dr. Furman both rely on, they're relying on corporate research from Procter & Gamble and Kraft, very small studies of 12 people, that kind of thing, in order to tell millions of vegans, oh, you need to add fat. Baloney. If you want the details, I'm linking to an earlier video I made where I go through those studies in great detail so you can really understand what they were studying.
Yeah, keep coming in.
In LA with my friend Chef Babette. She's 75.
Subscribe, follow, share the name of the page. Subscribe, follow, share the name of the page. Dr. Patar. We're in a serious time of misinformation, poor nutrition, lies, medical history, people who has not done no work. All right, we're in a serious time of falsehoods, of people telling you every day what to eat, what not to eat, what this study say, what that study say. All right, share the name, share the page, subscribe to the page, follow, so we could go live. I'm a naturopathic doctor of 40 years in healing, in science, in nutrition, in chemistry, diseases. We has helped heal, reverse any disease you could think of, except death, because death is death. That's when your cells, your body, your brains, your heart, everything stop functioning. Okay? As a naturopathic doctor, I has raised 11 children. Okay? 11 children. From way back when till now, I have I think near 11 grandchildren. One of our children just made twins. Okay? They're born with the nutrition of no meat, no dairy, no dead foods, no fishes, none of that stuff, but the original biodiversity of plants, herbs, water, hydration, life force through the mother, through the father seed conception. All right? Now, a lot of people come in front of you, a lot of these quote-unquote vegan doctors, holistic doctors, plant-based, all of them, they got bald heads. I want you to see, I'm going to tie it all in for you. Follow the page, subscribe, share. Follow the page, subscribe, share. A lot of these medical doctors, they got big glasses. This is special glasses for blue light. The only reason why we wear it because we work with doctors, we work on the computers a lot, we're on iPads a lot, iPhones, big desktop computers. We deal with a lot of electromagnetic devices. So we do it because we know to protect ourselves, because we're working around the clock, and then we're training clients in bodybuilding, nutrition, science, the whole thing. So staying to what we hear about. Your body needs fats. It's a big thing going around. Should you add fat? Should you not eat fat? Your body is made of fats. If you don't have fats, your cell membrane get weak. They keep talking about the Okaran diet. Those people there in China, Asia, those countries, you see they're very small and frail. Yes, they ate no fats, but how did they look? How did they bone density? How did they age? How did their body adapt to environments? You could adapt to environments in your temperate zone. Remember now, the oldest DNA is mitochondria Eve of a woman. That's coming out of Africa, right? That's the oldest DNA. All women come through the African DNA. Not spice, not hybridized, not genetically broken down, from nature's field of the first haplotype of woman. That's not race, that's not racism, socialism. We're dealing with genetic makeup of the first offspring coming out of nature, mother's world, according to documented history. Okay? So now, diets. The word diet, listen to the acronym, listen to the etymology, means die. Me, Dr. Patar, over 50 years, no meat, no dairy, no pig, no pork, no none of that. Technically my entire life eating whole plant, vital food. Foods of seeds, nuts, fruits, grains, provisions, hydrations of water, herbs. We're here because of herbs, a plant photosysteme. Plants that is native to your chemical composition. Your composition is your template, your genome, your genetic makeup, your phenotype. So when you eat avocado, you're eating of a phenotype. When you eat walnut, olives, you're eating of a phenotype that came from something of what? Nature's sunlight. Sun grows your food. Anytime you're eating food that's not growing in sun, you have a chemical deficiency because you're eating of only the genetic makeup of that seed that was made, chemically altered to breed in grounds that's not of sunlight. You see the Dr. Patar cuts? Ooh, look at that. Right? So when you're eating food, when you eat avocado, you're eating vitamin E. Vitamin E is for what? Very good for women for what? Gopling of the cervic order of the ovary. Vitamin E is good for what? Your skin. It maintains tissue elasticity. That's in the avocado. The oils is good for your brain. Okay? The oils is good for your brain. So when you're lacking fats, your brain cellular structure breaks down. In the Caribbean, they eat only octopus. They eat wild caught foods. My background family is Trinidadian and Tobago. They live off of conch. They live in the wild. Tobago, they eat breadfruit all day. They eat cocoa. Every day they brain. So when you see they aging, everybody want to know how in the Caribbean they living so long. Off of what? Cocoa, which they call cocoa. The Dutch renamed it and call it cocoa because it works on the brain. They eating pear. We call it zebaka. In Jamaica, you call it pear. They eating avocado. They eating carbohydrates. Breadfruit. They eat breadfruit with pear. They might saute some cabbage, right? So they're getting carbohydrates in complex carbs, resistant starch in the breadfruit. You see, they're getting avocado, they're getting the fats, the vitamin E, the polyphenol-rich oils to their brain. They drink a cup of cocoa, they're getting again the magnesium, the manganese to preserve the longevity of the brain cells in their brain. So people want to know how in the Caribbean they have no science of Western medicine, Western medical research, right? No science of Western medicine or Western research, but they're eating the food that came with nature's first food. Your brain, carbohydrates, resistant starch. They eating the greens, the callaloo, vitamin K, K2 for your blood, clotting. Clotting means that your blood is bringing the calcium to bring together for your bones. The iron that's absorbable in the baji, which is called callaloo greens. Trinidad is called dashin bush. In Thailand and baji and Indonesia, it's called taro root. The taro root is the provision that grows on the ground off of the dashin bush plant. You see? I'm a Dr. Patar. I'm a scientist, a nutritionist, a healer, a teacher, everything. And we give products and packages 40 years. So you're going to learn today what it's about. Not Western science. Western science, Winston Price, we could go on and on. The father of medicine, Father Hippocrates, learned every herb to heal the human autonomy structure of pathologies, disease, imbalances, poor nutrition. Europe, the same thing. understand what food is. You eat olives, you're eating again polyphenol enriched for your skin. Carotenins is in sweet potato, turmeric, bell peppers, yellow foods is carotenins. Okay? So your food, Western science has always not know the history of food. Okay? So when you take cocoa, you drink, and you call it cocoa, the Dutch imperialism's, right? Capitalism of imperialism. We taught history as a professor for 10 years. So master historian also. Okay, start your question and answer. All right? So when you study what was his brain, when you drink coffee came from Ethiopia. Kaffa. Coffee, brain is a tonic. When you put milk in it, it's no longer a tonic. Because you adulterated the chemical compounds of plants that rebuild tissue, rebuild brain health, brain wave. What sells more than coffee? Nothing. Nothing sells more than coffee, because coffee stimulates brain tissue, aging of the brain, the longevity of the brain. You mix it with cocoa, you're getting what one don't give, the other gives. So you're getting manganese, you're getting magnesium, you're getting olefins for the brain tissue to repair. You see? So when you mix the two together now, because you're energizing a natural stimulant, because it's a stimulant to the brain to repeat oxygen, carcinogenic acid, which carcinogenic acid is doing what? Repairing DNA. Okay? So you must get fats in the body. If you're not getting fats, you're breaking down your cellular structure, because fats maintain muscle tissue and fiber. That's why when you look at the same Oklahonian tribes they want to keep studying, they're small and fragile. A woman's health is built upon fats. When you deplete a woman of fats, what ends up happening to her? She lose what? Her butt, her shape. She lose brain tissue, cells, because fats solidifies everything. That's why they hydrated and give you canola oil, crystal oil, all these bad oils, because anything that you hydrate changes the structure. So if you're in Jamaica, Trinidad, Grenada, the Caribbean, coconut oil is your oil because it's made to your temperate region zone. It's native. So it's native to your genetic makeup, your structure. There's no way you find canola oil in nature's plant kingdom. It's hybridized out of an oil called rapeseed. Corn oil was made for fuel. So when they took the corn oil, they made it for fuel to replace ethanol. Ethanol comes from the extraction of sugarcane. I'm a food scientist and doctor. Come to us. Follow the page, subscribe, notify, follow the notify bell. Put like so we could go live. I got some time today because I'm taking care of clients and putting together products and packages, and I got people I'm training later. Okay? So you want to eat the foods that is native. You're in America, you have a season, you have 4 seasons of food because you're temperate zone. When you devour your body of fats, you now stifle your energy, because fats solidify sugar, fats solidify muscle aging, longevity of the cell. What we call it? Telomeres. Telomeres is showing how long your cell ages as it gets longer. So when you hear an anti-aging avocado, what you put in your skin, we have the Dr. Patar hair glowing oil. Everybody say, Doc, what you use in your skin? What you use? What hair products? Right here. This is all full of essential fatty acids. Dr. Patar hair glowing skin oil. Order this. Everybody, Doc. Okay? No, corporate America, we're not under corporate America. We're not under third party. Everything we do is our own of 40 years and 50 years overall. So everybody be like, Doc, how you not aging? How you turning back the hand of time? Right here, it starts here. Fats. Your skin is essential fatty acid. When you hear the word essential, that means what do your skin needs every day? Hyaluronic acid. Okay? When I put in my hair, I'm 6'5". My hair goes all the way down to the floor because I get in essential fatty acids. Right here. Avocado. Baobab. Fats. Your body must get fats. Fats, you lose your hair. Testosterone is connected to fat. Why you think when you low in fats, you don't have energy, you don't have power, you don't have drive? Because your prostate gland is zinc and fatty acids. That's why if your prostate gland get inflamed from not getting the right zinc, not getting the right beta steroid. What is beta steroids? The activation of what? Fatty acids. Testosterone is to drive fats for energy, muscle recovery, break down how the body uses omega-3s for the brain, DHEA. So when you remove fats out of your body, that is the nature, chemical composition of your prostate, your brain, your muscle, you remove life. We're not talking about cottage cheese. I'm not talking about a steak. I'm talking about essential fatty acid that the body uses. Okay? Follow the page, subscribe, notify button, put it on. Tap it up, tap it up. Email us to order your packages and products. All right? So you want to share the page out. Cuz put comments, everything, because it helped the algorithm. All right? Cuz you know we're very busy, but everybody, Doc, you need to go on YouTube, you need to go live. So we're live. Okay? But we need numbers. Numbers is what drive it. We can't buy likes, we can't buy bots. We don't have an AI to make our page fake. This is the real doctor. Real Dr. Patar. The creation, mythology, mythos of life. Okay? So you want now the body to build life. Fat loss in a woman, she lose her fat, she lose her what? Age. That's why when you see a woman with dimples, you see a woman with lines, that is excellent because that shows that she has storage of what? Oily substance for reproduction. When a woman getting pregnant, she get pregnant because of fats in her body. She has the right amount of fats, she has the right amount of iron, she has the right amount of magnesium, she has the right amount of essential protein. When you deprive a woman of fats, she lose her hair, she lose her brain thoughts, she lose her energy, she lose her reproductive cycle. Because what is her ovum? What is her ovary? It's an egg. What is feeding an egg? See, if you don't know none of it, you listen to these crazy doctors here on YouTube and around the world, and you see them, they got no hair, or they got big glasses, they look very fragile, they look very weak, and I'm older than a lot of them, and some of them is older than me. And they spewing the narrative, oh, don't eat fats. No, you eat fats. You eat fats, you drink your cocoa, you drink your coffee, because you're stimulating brainwave. Now, if you don't want to feel that stimulation, you come to Dr. Patar. We give you the extreme power life tonic, and you life tonic, and you be energized all day without none of that. But that's food in nature that circulates your energy output. Your mitochondria DNA, your energy source is your mitochondria. Then your NFR2 system. That's a whole nother topics and discussions. So if you're removing fats, you're removing cellular structure. Your body is built upon structure. If the membrane structure is not stabilized, the body pulls and it leaches minerals. So it goes to what? If you're not getting sunlight, the body goes to what? Depletion. Sunlight furnish energy output of metabolism with the immune system. The immune system is the body, B vitamins, the immunological system, the T cells, your IB cells, so that way your NK cells work consistently. Okay? So you want to build dominance. But if you following diets of restriction, you're gonna die because you're in a deficit. Every deficit means you're depleted. Every depletion means you lack of. So when you lack of avocado, walnuts, Brazil nuts, oils, you're in a deficit. You see Colin Esteen, the one who they keep saying, oh, no oil, no oil. You hear how he talk? He just brains. His brains are slow. Not only because he's 80-something degrees, 80-some years old or something. It's because fatty chain acids. When your brains is not getting fats, it slows down your speech because your brain is DHA, neuropics, iron, omega-3, algae. So when you're not getting the fats, you slow down your jaws, you slow down your speech. It becomes delay. Because fatty acids is what makes oils in the omega-3 chain and the chain of what? Of your brain waves, your alpha, your delta, and your beta, your cerebral cortex goes around. So when you're lacking fats, your motor becomes what? Impaired. The motor becomes impaired, so your speech becomes delayed. See, you got to know how the body works. They don't talk to this. I know all the studies. I studied longer than any of them. So we don't need them. Those studies don't work. We want to know what works. We want to know what heals, what reverse. That's what we want to know. And reverse means totally never again. The reason why they don't want you to use the word cure, because cure takes away from them getting the praise. So they make it and reserve it FDA and medical doctors. Medical doctors not made to cure diseases. They made to dissect, diagnose. Okay? So we know what works and what don't work. So you want to keep fats in your daily Bioessence Supreme Nutrition. Okay? Hold on. All right? So subscribe to the page, share. All right? So do not follow these MD Joel Furman and McGregor and Dr. Bernard and all these people, YAKHI Awaken, because YAKHI Awaken is regurgitating all of their bad information. Okay? Because your shrimp, your crabs, your seafood, where do they get their fats from? Okay? So don't let nobody play the misconception with your mind. You need algae and water soluble. That means all of your iodide sources you need. You only need 15 milligrams of iodide daily. You remove iodide, you're now messing with your thyroid, your parathyroid, you're messing with your glands. Iodide is part of your gland skeletal structure. But you don't get iodide because you eat shrimp and you eat lobster and you eat crab and you eat mussels and you eat calamari. You get it because you took the seed vegetation of the plant, the seed vegetation of the algae that they fed on. That's why they tell you to eat sea bass and sardine, because of the oil, not because of the fish per se, the oily substance in the sea bass. Because the oil is what gives you pigment-rich available DHA, pigment-rich omega-3. So you go to the plant that gives the sea vegetable, the shrimp, the lobster, the calamari, the mussels, they life force. So that's why when anybody get my Dr. Patar Special Sea Moss, everybody go crazy, because it's not the sea moss that everybody's selling you out of Jamaica, out of Peru, out of Honduras. It's formulated to give you what you don't get in regular sea moss from Peru, from Jamaica, from Honduras. The Dr. Patar Special Sea Moss gives you what essential minerals that regular sea moss don't carry in it daily. See, you got to know nutrition, not just at a level of hearsay, but at a cellular earth level, the sea to the land. What is the foods of the land mass that your body requires through the sea? You don't get no iron. Don't let them keep spooking you out. There's no iron in sea moss. It's no iron. You go to a marine biologist and you ask him to test this for me, and you never find iron. No matter it's Honduras, Peru, Jamaica, St. Lucia, you find no iron. And if you was to hypothetically find it, it's not absorbable because the sea don't make iron. Plants, that's why sea vegetation from land vegetation is different. That's why people who try to beat anemic, they always anemic, because why? They come to me and they get the tonic from me and anemia is reversed within 21 days. Because food blocks iron, because your body don't respond to fight an acid that's blocked inside of the body naturally to block out iron. So Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, fat related, iron related, omega-3, DHEA, circulation, oxygen. So you want to get good hair, you want take care of your beard, take care of your hair, your skin, eczema, order, email me and order. Go right to the page and order. On the page here, we soon open the website. Follow us right here on YouTube, right here and on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you go to TikTok also. Okay, that's Dr. Patar, and you will see this face come right up. We don't buy likes, so they can't corrupt our page, they can't corrupt us, because we don't buy likes, we don't buy bots, we don't buy AI bots. We use AI to do work because we're in an AI-driven world now, but everything comes from us is authentic. Anything we use AI with is to do to help with the website, to help create, to take some of the ease off of me, because everything you see on the website is a Bible, and it's Dr. Patar's words saying, breaking down. So you want to follow this page, subscribe, share the page, share the name, email me to order packages, anything, weight loss, diabetes, cancer, bodybuilding, we have it, 40 years and counting. Woo. Look at them cuts, look at that. This is no meat, no dairy, no fish, no steroids. Everybody say, Doc, you must be on steroids. No, we're not. The only steroids we use on plants. The compounds that create the what? Energy. That create the what? Muscle building tissue. So we make the Dr. Patar muscle building product. Dr. Patar Special Sea Moss, Dr. Patar Gut Restorer. We never have bloating. We never have no problems of digestion because it's in your microbiome. Your gut has specific energy that has to feed off of your gut microbiome with the microbiome. So we deal with the mitochondria, we deal with metabolism, we deal with microbiome, and we deal with melanin, the 4 M's. Critical in healing, regardless of you're African or non-African. Critical. Melanin, metabolism, microbiome, mitochondria. The 4 M's. If you're not repairing the mitochondria, your body is dying because energy is being lost every second, minute, and hour. Aging is related to the 4 M's. Metabolism, mitochondria, melanin, and microbiome, which means your gut, the integrity, the spores, the little that lives on there that attaches itself to eat away your cellular structure. So you want to get with us now. Gut Restorer, excellent for any gut problems, digestive upset, colon integrity, stomach digestion. You're getting a pre-probiotic. Pre-probiotic means what happens before and after. You're getting now your lungs, very critical in healing. Hydraulic acid, pepsin, sulfur. These things, if it's not active, you always have gut problems, upset stomach, uric acid in the joints. Why? Because the sugars in your stomach eats away your bones. Rheumatoid arthritis, damage the cartilage of the membrane of the nerve. Get with Dr. Patar. You can't get this information and healing nowhere. Guarantee you. Bad science create bad institutes of nutrition and healing. YAKHI Awakening. Don't listen to these people. They're retrograde, Western, holistic, medicine, failures of studies. Okay? Anybody could come and do that. I'm not here to tell you eat fruits and vegetables in 2026. I should be telling you eat fruits and vegetables. Then that mean we're living still in Stone Age. I'm here to sell regeneration. That's what we offer. BioEssence Supreme Nutrition Cellular Regeneration. The archetype, the gateway, the pathway to all genes, longevity, healing, brain, tissue, membrane, nerves, colon, eyes, teeth, gum, hair, skin, reproductive organ, male, female. Cellular regeneration, BioEssence Supreme Nutrition. That means that we're going to give you bioavailability of absorbent, of minerals, phytonutrients in the body. And you're getting the missing link that you don't get in the supermarket food, that you don't get in the landmass. So whatever you don't get from there, you get in our products. All right? You're getting our products. That's why everybody say, Doc, how you looking so young? How you aging like that? Because why? We've been on our products. And we do what they don't do and don't know. We don't rely on the supermarket. Supermarket food is just a path of daily living. But we get the Dr. Patar products that over 50-something years has been taking care of Dr. Patar. As a naturopathic doctor, as a healer, as a scientist, as a nutritionist. Okay? So follow us here, link us, put on the notify bell, share the page, share the name. Be careful again with what you're listening to. Don't let nobody come at 21 years tell you they had a heart attack and they had erectile dysfunction at 21 years old and diabetes. Don't let nobody fool you out there. If you're 21 years old and you had heart attack and diabetes and erectile dysfunction, that's a serious story. Okay? Where in America you find that? Where over the world you find that you can walk up and find a 21-year-old that has a heart attack, diabetes, and erectile dysfunction? 21 years old? Stop. Let us stop telling the lies. Anybody could tell you a story. And then you're 16 years holistic. YAKHI Awakened tells you stories of lies. And he know people is open because everybody looking to hear somebody new. It's like a prophet. You get tired of Christ, so you say, leave Christ alone, let him die. Okay? All right? That's why the Bible was written for men, because they said men will come amongst you and tell you lies. Men will come amongst you and tell you stories. It's all agrality. It's all abnormality. It's all about stories, misleading people. Okay? All right? So don't let people misconstrue you. We've been around a long time. YAKHI Awakened wasn't even born. None of these people was born. It's easy to come and say, I read 2 books and now I'm a nutritionist. Greetings. So don't let people who has not lived this, we live this on every area, raising children abroad and at home, in Africa, the Caribbean, and in America. And we've been healing every disease. All right? You want to get with us so we can help you, because there's so much bad information, misinformation, lies around, and you get caught up in the rapture. And you get caught up in the rapture because you don't know nothing, and you listen to people who don't know nothing either, but they following the herd. They read 2 books, they listen to some podcasts, and all of a sudden they're intelligent. There was no YAKHI Awakening in America when AIDS was dying, when hepatitis and AIDS was the biggest disease. Where was a YAKHI Awakening? He wasn't even born. And if he was born, he was on drugs. So stop letting former drug dealers and chemical components of alcohol and substance abuse come today, and now because they're clean, they're doctors. We were sealing people out of debt. Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, Trinidad, Grenada, Jamaica, sending packages all over the world, people dying of AIDS. That hospice and Fashi left them to die. Okay? Let me tell you living truths. Fashi, them was giving out Bayer medicine in the streets of New York, in Chicago, all the places. They was giving AIDS patient Bayer medicine. Then it was not working. Then they started giving them Cameron. Okay? All right? And they started giving them that to falsify the immune system. It was eating away the what? T cells of the immunity. See, Dr. Patel would teach you the truth on every level. Okay? It was systematically racist what they did in New York, Chicago, Philly, Jersey, Boston. Because they knew it, your cell behavior and the weakening of your immunity by eating away at the what? Immune system that will respond to a cytokine blast. The same Fauci who gave you the drugs out of Wuhan village, the laboratory genetic what? Experiment. That they know if they steal your immunity, they weaken the immunity, your body now will have a cytokine spiking protein. We cured people out of corona, sending them overnight packages. Was nobody there. YAKHI waking them wasn't doing nothing. I'm tired of the falseness and the falsification of African consciousness. We are all African by haplotype of mitochondrial DNA of the woman. You can't turn that around. Every woman came through the portal of mitochondria Eve. Know that. All right? Know that. So no matter no matter you're born in America, you're born through a seed of a woman that started in Africa. Okay? We're not talking about the people, we're talking about the land mass. Who was first? The land mass, then the people. It's a difference. So when you're arguing, remember I'm a master professor in world Oriental African history, American history, European psychology, Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung. Trust me. You learn from me what you can't learn nowhere. Do you have a course or any books? We're going to write a book soon. That's we're dealing with so much clients, and we're going to be starting up the school again. It's always only about 10 to 15 students per, because we have students in Africa and in the Caribbean. And we keep it very small because, you know, they always try to attack us on multitude of levels. That's why we take care of ourselves spiritually, scientifically, morally, and physically. Because they always coming after us. You know, we was on IG, we shut down IG because they was mad that people was coming out and letting them know I cure them. We got so much students over 8-year run on IG that wrote books. Holistic nutrition. We teach doctors in Columbia University, Cornell University. We teach other scientists, other healers, nutritionists, other professors in world history in NYU and in New York City. Okay? So when you come to us, you get the greatness. And the way you could help this page is subscribe, notify, share the page, share the name, and DM us to get your packages. Because if you're relying on genetic food that is tampered with by Bill Gates, that's putting viruses and genes in your food, in your lettuce, you're going to get sick. Okay? You do not want to get sick to get the microchip put in you, because soon, in the 5 years or even 3 years, certain hospitals will be putting the chip in you when you go to the hospital. So if you want to stay out of the hospital and not get gene tampered with and be ruled by that microchip that they've been trying for the last 30 years to implant in you, you better get with Dr. Patar. Because once you get sick, they're not going to let Corona happen again where it's just shots and fast shots from Pfizer and all of that. That didn't work. We was dealing with clients that took the Pfizer, took the Johnson, took the MNR vaccines, and they was sickly dying because their blood was not responding no more because of the shot. And they did everything. And they came to us and we reversed and cured them. We have the testimonies. Okay? I've been doing this near 6 decades of life, of healing, of teaching, and reversing diseases, and dealing with vaccines, how they came, what they're about. You have to revolutionize your body to deal with the unsolved, because the capitalists of the world, the billionaires of the world, they're dying out every day. And they're dying out every day through disease, Not money, disease, because they don't eat no better than most people who just be on YouTube. And you eat, then you get the genetic foods in you that carries the viruses and the shots. Bill Gates owns something called A-peel. So your mother apple cider vinegar is no longer the apple cider vinegar that it was 10 years ago, 20 years or 30 years ago. Okay? It's watered down. It's chemically originated. That's why apple cider vinegar, everybody pushing drink apple cider vinegar. You're drinking nothing that's helping you. Because it's acidic acid. Acidic acid eats out your gut. So when you take acidic acid, you're eating out your enzymes. You're eating out your digestive. You get the gut restorer from us because the apple cider vinegar eats away your gut and your microbiome, and then now your body cannot respond to digestion, hydraulic acid, because now you're dependent on the acidic acid, because now your gut no longer have integrity, and the integrity is lost, and now all your citric acid, because your gut has hydraulic acid, citric acid, and pathways of many acids to funnel it. But you have to feed it good bacteria, good flora, probiotics that is in nature. Not probiotics of acid that is irregular, abnormal to the cell and the structure and the behavior. See? Understand why they made apple cider vinegar. You don't know the history of why apple cider vinegar is really the clean windows, clean vegetables, clean fungus. That's how strong it is. So if it's strong to clean a window glass and fungus, so what is it doing in your internal stomach? That's why you find the people who are upset they can't eat. It's one step away from Mozambique. I'll go there another time. So you're stimulating pathways of acetic acid that blocks your what? Hormones and pheromones and your serotonin, dopamine, and melatonin, all of these pathways that endure endurance, testosterone, libido, fertility. So if you eat away your gut, you eat away your life. 80% of your brain serotonin is inside of your immunity. 80% of your immunity is inside of your stomach, your gut. So if you're taking stuff that's eating away the gut instead of hydrating the gut, stimulating fortitude and bacteria and cell structure pigments, then now the body's broken down. So you order from us the gut restorer. Everybody buy it and they say, oh my God, Doc, please, I sell out of it every week. The gut restorer, $85 is a powder. Put it in some tart cherry juice, watermelon juice. It comes in a scooper. Put it in 8 ounce. You drink that morning and night. You see what happened to your body. Okay? You got to know what to do. Capitalism rule. You could hate it, dislike it. Billionaires look out for billionaires. Bill Gates bought up all the farms in India. He owned the water systems. He bought up half of the farms here in America. He owns everything. So what you think, who's working for Bill Gates? Scientists, pathologists, cell biologists. That's me. But working for Bill Gates for what? To preserve him. Fauci and them. They have a whole system designed. So who's working for you? Not medical doctors who turned converts in the last 10 years because the social media got so big. They was giving people all the medication. They was medicating people. So you can't trust those people. They came into the circle that we built of herbs and plants and fasting and juicing and performance and working out and cleansing the body and cleaning the body. We did that. Not Dr. Furman, not Dr. Bernard, not Dr. Gregor, not YAKHI Awakened. None of these people. They was not there. We did this when there was nobody. We was doing the heavy research. We was in the library. We was in the stores. We was in the pharmaceutical. We was studying pharmaceutical the way they did it. We was doing the naturopathic classes, teaching and healing, going to the root cause of your diseases, your imbalances. We was in America where nobody took care of us, where people was dying of AIDS and cancer and coming to me with a paper. I was referred by A, B, and C. People calling my landline. I know you don't know about landline. That's how it was. They was calling my landline number. It was referral. Not what somebody said with a bald head and big glasses and a beard full of gray and you in your 40s? Come on, look at me. I'm older than them, and they're bald and they got gray deficiencies. So how you listen to somebody that's showing you that they bald and they in their late 40s and early 50s and they bald? They got green teeth. You see my teeth is white? Look at my teeth. Okay? So how you listening to these people that's deficient chemically in nutrition, in the periodic table, in zinc, in biotin, in fatty acids, and you're listening to these people? They're not a pillar of hell, they're a pillar of deception. A pillar of deception. That's why every day they come up with some new topic. Take this supplement, do this, do that. They running around and they playing the game and they moving the pogo. They keep moving the posts. And you fall in the deception because you don't know no better. Because we all part of the scheme of the matrix of YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We in the world of the deception of lies. And Meta and these pages drive them by protecting them because they pay money to make it look like they invested in your time and health when their money is invested within their goalposts. Not of nature, not of life, not of truth. We deal with truth. That's why we can't get funding, because our truth don't deal with like what? The filibusters. Don't deal with what? The lies. So we can't get the funding because our truth goes against the Rockefeller Mafia, the Carnegie Hall Mafia. Okay? It goes against the bankers of Rothschild. So they don't want to fund us, because now we go tear down a system that was boarded by Rockefeller and boarded by the colleges, MIT, Harvard, Yale, to produce their own timeline and their own papers through the Lancets and through PPN. You know who owns all these people with the newsletters? The Rockefeller Centers own them. See, y'all didn't know this, so when you hear them, oh, this subscription, I've been doing this longer than all of them. I could tell you. So we're always up against war against these people who's giving you misinformation. Plants heal. Plants do. The herbs do what food cannot do. You could go around it. Why do you think they're pushing peptides? Who's making all the money for peptides? Who's making all the money for stem cell? Peptides is naturally in your body. The reason why your peptides get worn out because of inflammation and stress. But they ain't going to tell you that. Stress to your IGF-1. What is your IGF-1? Your balancing of hormones and sugars. Peptides, when you take artificial peptide, why do you think you get dizzy? You can't eat. So when you see Fat Joe, Charles Barkley, all of them is on these chemicals because they have no pancreatic function. Their pancreas no longer work. That's why they can't lose weight. Their metabolism no longer work. That's what it was made for damaged ducts. You have a duct, your isolongus. Everybody have an isolongus. When your isolongus work, it transport sugar into the beta cells of your muscle. So you see Charles Barkley, his skin starting to look bad. You see him slurring. You see him always licking his lips. Why? Dehydration, because the insulin is not going into their muscles. That's why you see their face take on that V shape, because you lose muscle and you start aging the organ because the peptide has to transcend the gut. So it turns off the neurotransmitters in your brain. It's a deadly game of deception being played with you, and because you don't know nothing, you follow all this weird stuff on YouTube, TikTok, and all these places. I lived this my entire life doing this. Once you start those drugs, your pathway is closer to death than life. I know nobody don't want to tell you the truth. If Fat Joe stopped taking those shots for 7 days, he died. Because his body is dependent. He's insulin dependent. Not insulin supported. He's insulin dependent. Insulin dependent and insulin support is two different things. Dame Dash, they're insulin dependent. They have no pancreatic function on its own. So what end up happening? They have to stay on it because why? They has changed the what? Intelligence of how the beta cells work, the pancreas and the liver, to take sugar, use it through sweat, through hydration, through beta cells in the glucose to get into the muscles. Glucose tolerance factor, chromium deficiency, van der sulfate. Are you producing insulin? No, you don't produce insulin because you got damaging in the pancreas and the gut. So every day you shoot insulin, the body no longer, pancreas and the duct don't work no longer. Because why? The artificial pancreas insulin that you're in digestion through either regular insulin or semaglutide or Ozempic is fortifying insulin to work faster. So your carbohydrate overload, because you're not sweating it out, you're not metabolizing it through digestion and sweat. Thermogenics is causing the body to go at a higher ratio to burn sugar, burn fat, fatty based tissue. So when you take the shot, you're cutting off all your natural cofactors of life and bioavailability. See, nobody ain't gonna teach you this. It's the most scariest thing to learn the truth. We have a product called the King of Life and Reverse Life and Eyes of Life. You take that every day, you get all the insulin your body makes to work to repair the gut, the integrity, the isolongates. Man failed the body, not divine order. Divine order is the cosmic energy of life in plants, the herbs. The compound we give you, nobody give you. Is one herb that gives insulin all day. You ask YAKHI what it is, you ask your best healer sign, they can't tell you. They do not know. Insulin all day, just like that. But it's slower because it's repairing the bioavailability and the mechanics of the pancreatic function. That's why herbs work slower. So we put together these compounds that it gets in there to clear the kidneys so the water, potassium could get into the cell to help the body flush out the sugar. You see? Now the body start working because now potassium is getting in the cell to help cause a diuretic effect. You sweat, you urine, your body start to break down fats, salts, sugars. So when you go on all these restrictions, your body was made of salts and sugars. But in what form? What form? See, but they stifle you with this bad information out here, so you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing proper. You don't know the right or the wrong. You just know what everybody's saying, and it sounds like everybody, because all of them say the same thing. You come here, you heard what you'd have never heard. Nobody has ever taught this in depth in 52 minutes that I just taught you for free. Put a 1 if I'm telling a lie or the truth. You have a lot of bad science papers. We know it all because we've been doing this before all of them. Okay? And science, they're trying to still find what is the human longevity. We already found it. Else I don't exist. If I didn't find it, I wouldn't exist in front of you. Okay? They trying to find it, what we already found. But we don't have Rockefeller to back us. We don't have Carnegie to back us. We don't have Homopedic to back us. We don't have none of these pharmacies and pharmaceutica that's backed by big brands and commercial spaces of capitalism to back me. YAKHI and these people, they pay to go on these people's shows to screw the narrative that they've been screwing. They push high fat, no fat. Fruitarian, carnivore. Eat a steak, no carbs. Your body didn't work like that. Your body's a carbohydrate fuel. Your body's a carbohydrate fuel. CHO. What is CHO? Carbohydrate. You have complex carbs and you got single carbs. What you don't understand and understand? Carbohydrate is a fuel. When you eat a sweet potato, is a complex carb, meaning you're getting fiber with what? Phytonutrients and a slowdown of a fast rush. Bodybuilders, every bodybuilder should rename a sweet potato, because they made the sweet potato industry of America the biggest industry. Why? Because of the slowdown carb. You eat rice, you get it fasted carbs. That means no fiber, straight insulin. That's why you eat short rice, long grain. They never tell you why, right? The reason why it's long grain, short grain and long grain rice look like your pancakes. string beans, the insulin tip is on the string beans. Who's gonna tell you this? Because they don't know. They don't know that. That's why when you eat fasted sugar, you get energy. Because it's bypassing the gut and going straight to the energy conduit of the body, which is the cell into the muscle, the brain. If the brain is starved of glucose, the body shuts down, heart attack, ketosis, death. If the brain is starved, the body shuts down. When the brain shut, the heart shut. The heart is the pump, the volume. So if you shut down one, you shut down the other. You eat short grain rice, long grain rice, you're getting fasted sugar to replenish glycogen, glucose loss. You eat quinoa, you eat wild rice, you get no sugar. Quinoa, you get a little bit of garbage, not much, a little bit. But a lot of B vitamins and protein. That is easily protein that is on the body. You eat wild rice, you eating this, you eat a hypergonic grass, you eating this water. That's why it never full. You could eat bowls of wild rice, you never get full, because you're eating water. Grass is grown in water. Alfalfa sprouts, all these stuff, that's water. Microgreens, water. Sunflower sprouts, what sprouts it? Water. You get the underneath. So when you eat a sprout, sunflower sprout, alfalfa sprout, red clover, reddish, lentils, you're eating water with water-based proteins and DHA. You're eating the embryo of the cell makeup of the sperm. That's why when you look at a sprout, that's the same way your sperm look in a male. And the topping is the woman. So when you eat watercress, which grows in water, that's the greatest one you could eat. You don't eat watercress. See? So you see, you come to Dr. Patar, we teach you the right way. And then you buy the products. The reason I fasted a whole day. Fast. Not these fasts that these guys talk about, you know. They don't do no real fasting. Anybody do that with they eat though. I fast for a full, sometimes 36 hours, 48 hours. Because I like to eat highly cuisine rich foods. And when I don't like what I don't get, I don't eat. My body goes right into fasting. So all I live off is my products and my Dr. Patar special sea moss and berries and proper proteins that's assimilated in my muscle. That's why you see Doc look. Everybody, Doc, oh, you so lean and so muscle up still. Because we know what we're doing. We don't hijack nothing. We get the essential proteins. We get the Dr. Patar special sea moss. We make a shake with that with berries, gut restorer, our muscle builder, our tree of life power. The tree of life is powders that come out of Africa that maintain sugar balance, energy balance, gut microbiome integrity, iron, zinc, prostate health, testosterone. The muscle builder builds muscle in the right way. People be like, Doc, you on steroids? Yeah, I'm on steroids of the plants, of the compounds. You're right. Because steroids come through the plants. And then you got the trend and the Ebola. We could go into all of that. I work with bodybuilders. I know what they do. I know all the stuff. When they clean it out, they come to me to maintain muscle. And then we have products that they could take while they on the gear. And they go, Doc, oh my God, we got one of the famous bodybuilders all the way in the UK. Live on our products. Then we got some in Germany. Okay? When they get ready to compete, we're the last component. They call me, private consultation, Doc. I'm doing A, B, and C. What could I add naturally to maintain the fullness, maintain hydration, maintain pigments, maintain glucose? Because once you're shooting the insulin, your body starts to break down. That's why when bodybuilders, when you hear they're taking 1,000 grams of carbs, they're on insulin. Your body cannot break down 1,000 grams naturally. It's an overload. And as the pancreas become overload, it gets stifled. When it gets stifled, it gets blocked in the liver. So the liver can't help push the glucose out. Because why? The pancreas is stifled. Because the blockage of inflammation, a high amount of sugar constantly being attacked. So they gotta take insulin. There's no way around that. When you start talking about 600 grams of carbohydrates daily and all that, you're going into insulin because now your body is taxed. That's what we call it, what? Toxicity and toxemia. So when we give the products, people say, man, doc, my pancreas working again on its own and I could use less insulin. That's right. Because we're giving you the product that have insulin all day naturally to the chemistry of your pancreas duct. You have affinity. Affinity means that it's naturally chemically bonded to the same function of the herb to the organ tissue health. So we just don't give some for health, regeneration. What we offer, cellular regeneration, bioessence, supreme nutrition. Okay? Cellular regeneration. I mean, I'm going into a billion cells in your trillion cells in your body, DNA genetic. And I'm ensuring immunity, digestion, nerve, everything. Every cell has a receptor. That means it has a behavior, it has an information, it has a thought, it has an instruction. See, you don't learn none of this nowhere. None of this nowhere. There's nobody teaching this nowhere. You find somebody who just taught you this, what I just taught you here in an hour and 13 minutes. Find them. You bring them to me. You're not gonna find it because they all regurgitate information. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. Trust that. I know that. They don't know nothing. Trust that. I know that. What I'm teaching you, you could write books off of this. You'll become a biochemist, a scientist, a nutritionist. You go and teach the world what I just taught you because nobody could teach this. And then you go to a dietitian and ask them, I heard this. They go say, you're right. You go to urologist, you're right. You go to gastrointestinal, you're right. But they don't have no answers. I have the cause to the effect and the answer. So I teach you what they can teach you, and I give you what you need to heal. The more you depend on the landmass of these supermarkets, you see the disease that's going on in Texas, right? Why is that disease there? They spraying the food. The more chemicals get sprayed, the more the body cannot acclaim to it. So you have to build your immunity. How are you going to do it? Fasting, you can't outfast chemicals that is tied to parasites and worms to eat away at your system. So when you go and eat, you're eating chemically induced plants, vegetables, products. See them dough from they don't take cleansers. You gotta cleanse the body. The body's a waste organ. Why you think you urinate? Why you think you defecate? Waste out, nutrition in. Your body's a waste organ. Don't let nobody fool you. Why you think you defecate? Why you think your eyes get mucus on it? Waste is being released. Why your hair get dirty? Why your skin get dirty? Waste. So if the body's not removing waste, the body's incurring inflammation. Inflammation is turning on arthritis, metabolic disorders, then plaque. Plaque is your arteries. Blockage. You can't out. It's just like training. I train clients, but the meal plans I create for them is created on the proper health and healing. Then I give them a day of a cheat meal, but the cheat meal is still healthy. It's just not the regular what you do 6 days a week. But it still coincide with building muscle, repairing, getting our products get the lactic acid out. See, when you start getting all the shoulder problems, the shoulders, the bursitis, itis, inflammation, you're building up waste that's sticking the joints, stickly joints. You got to get rid of the lactic acid. So you're not, every day you're training, but you're not getting rid of lactic acid. You're building up more lactic acid, more and more. So what ended up happening? The cartilage eat away because the lactic acid stops blood. Tell them to talk to me. So listen. I'm about to go. I got to get ready to eat. I got to train a client. Right? So, and I got to put together packages for later. Hold on, I'll come back. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'll be right forward. Hold on. Yeah, has returned. I had to deal with a delivery. So yes. So listen. So make sure follow the page, subscribe. Go to TikTok. We also on TikTok. I am underground but above ground. I don't take every client because I'm very busy, and you know these apps, I don't have time to play with the apps. But everybody's want me to be on here, so I'm on here. So I'm offering you what you can't get nowhere. Be serious with your health and your healing. We deal with everything. This is 50 years of body of work. 50 years, all right? 50 years. So we deal with everything that you need to know on every level. Sociology, psychotherapy, melanin, history, story, Bible, Kabbalah, Rastafari, Hebrew, Torah, you name it. We do all that. I'm a Babalui also. So we cover a lot, and it's 50 years in all of that work. All right? So I'm teaching you what you would never learn nowhere else, and that what works and is real. The news and media, they tell you anything. And when people want to get in a space because it's an opening, they spew all kind of information. I seen people under trauma, mental illness. We're working with 2 hospitals right now helping heal mental people. The work that we do is unparalleled, unmatched. So you want to get the right reasoning and healing and nutrition and health, and you want to learn the right thing that works. Not people who was former drug addicts, former medical doctors, former this, former that, and teaching you. Those is the worst. Why? Because they have no fight long term in this. When you see somebody with a bald head, that's a lack of nutrition. Don't let nobody grow into this world bald. But when they was a baby, and in the first days they have a lot of hair. So when you grow, you're supposed to grow with hair. So when you see these talking to you and they got these big glasses, they're nutritionally deficient. Right there. When you see them with them big glasses and the hair, and you see them in their 40s and something 50, I'm older than a lot of them. Their beard fully gray. That's a copper deficiency. That's a zinc deficiency. That's a biotin deficiency. Don't let nobody say, oh, I'm eating raw food, but then you look like the worst thing ever created. Right? You're eating raw food, you're eating carnivore, you're eating all of these diets, but you don't look good. You don't look good. So you know dieting mean die. D-I-E. So if you're on a diet, we know you're malnourished. Right away. Once you say you're on a diet, you know you're malnourished. Once you're on a vegan diet, we know you're malnourished. Once you're on a carnivore diet, we know you're malnourished. Once you're on a pescatarian diet, we know you're malnourished. Life is a biodiversity. Biodiversity. You got bad teeth, you know you're malnourished. You got inflammation, you got plaque, you got oral problems, you got heart problems. You don't know that? Your teeth is connected to your heart. Every tooth root is connected to your nerves. That's why when you get when you get pain, where do you feel it? In your nerves. So if your teeth is bad, your nerves is bad, your heart is bad, a mixture of both or one. And then you got, if your tongue is full of a whiteness, that's fungus and bacteria. That lets you know you got a lot of fungus growing in your body. See, you got to know these things. Nobody's not going to teach you on this because they don't know. But then they're quick to diagnose you and medicate you and give you some improper diagnose. Come to somebody who lived their whole life this way. Stop going to people who, oh, I found this 20 years. You know what I was doing 20 years ago? Curing, reversing disease, and teaching. And healing. I wasn't no Johnny come lately. Oh, I just found this out. No. You see how I look. You see how I talk. It's a total difference. They're going to say, oh, the Mediterranean diet and big deal. We've been eating it before the Mediterranean diet. Where's those people in the Mediterranean doing? If you're in America, you have no association with those people in the Mediterranean. But you have association that know that plants, fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains work. Right? But what's the difference if you're in America eating that way is sun. You're voided of sun where they're getting sun all year. So that's a problem right there for you. See? Sun is critical because you're dealing with hormones, you're dealing with immunity, you're dealing with weight loss. You're a sun people. You have a color. Sun gave you that to your mother, to your father. Your father planted a seed with sun full of zinc, full of pigments. That's what made you the color. His DNA that was inside of his semen. And the mother, she evolved it and carried it. So you wasn't void of sun. You wasn't void of pigment-rich food. You wasn't void of colors. See? So when you think, oh, Mediterranean, the reason why they fall short, because why? They got sun. Sun is critical because you're dealing with what? You're making everything grow in the proper soil, water, hydration. When you voided of that sun, your metabolism gets shot. Why you think in the winter you get sluggish? Because your metabolism slows down to incorporate a different temperate zone. Why you think everything now cold plunge, cold plunge, cold plunge? Know how you being psyopted on and worked on. So it's critical you get what you don't get out of. If you're living somewhere when the sun go down, in the east the sun is striving. Europe is burning, America is burning because the sun, climate change, climate temperate zone. The sun is doing its work. It's speeding up nature, and you, if you're a color person, you better collect that sun while you can. Collect the sun. Because the sun is what going to give you the long life with the right foods of herbs. Not supermarket food. Don't let nobody fool you. That's your last extension of everything. The herbs is what's going to carry you. Don't let nobody fool you. Talk to somebody who know and got clients who eat one meal a day. Only the bodybuilders and trainers who be trained every day, people, they eat 2 or 3 times a day because they have to. Because why? They got to replenish a lot of loss, and they're in a building phase and a leaning phase. You cut or you grow. So that's why they on our products and they go, oh, doc, oh my God, I feel, because I'm feeding their cells. I got people, they take our products, they eat once a day. They're like, doc, oh my God. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to eat if you're not bodybuilding, you're not working out, you're not doing calisthenics, you're not burning up fat, you're not burning metabolism, you're not burning fatty tissue, you should not be eating no more than once a day. Sorry to tell you. Because why? The more you eat, the more your organs got to work. And if you're eating meats and dairy, they eat away at the organs. That's why they're pushing the peptides and the drugs. Because they're eating food that do not regenerate. Your body has to regenerate. Cells has to regenerate. What food give you regeneration in the supermarket? What food? Name it. Name it. Don't listen to no Dr. Lee tell you, oh, eat a kiwi and it's world of cancer. Garbage. You got to be eating that way like me my whole life for that cancer gene to not promote itself in your body. You can't go and have cancer and start eating kiwi and it's going to make a difference. No, it's not. Don't let them fool you. They have no disease. And they're medical doctors, again, that's converts. They was giving patients Medicaid all the time. They was giving them chemotherapy, radiation. You don't know the background of these doctors. They're psyops and they're disingenuous. They're lying to you. You got to eat that way every day for a lifetime so the body only recognize a proper balance of alkalinity to acid of cell structure, alkaline to acid, pH value, hydrat, urea, circulation, oxygen, balance, waste out, nutrition in, cellular structure, pigment, cleanse, remove, restart, replenish, rebuild. That is cell regeneration that we offer through our healing and protocol. They don't offer that. Tell you eat a kiwi a day or regenerate the stuff and not. Where? We gotta stop with the disingenuous information. I love kiwi. But what kiwi really doing? Be honest. What is it really doing? Talk the truth. When you got cancer in your breast and your genes, you think eating a whole heap of kiwi going to change that? No, it's not. I gotta go to get rid of the gene, the genetic expression of cancer in the BRCA gene, BRCA1. That means the inflammation cytokine blast that's attacking your genome of your breasts. A kiwi gonna do that? Where? See? The lady who was a big thing, she didn't get her thing because of bad information, died of breast cancer. They came to me at last minute. I didn't know what would happen to the lady. After they came to me, she found out she died the next couple days. Okay? And again, bad information she was doing. And listening to these doctors, oh, don't go and get your breast test. You test your damn breasts. You're in America under American chemical warfare. You test your breast to make sure it's fine. It's not gonna kill you. You don't take a mammogram every goddamn week. That's how you test. They do a mammogram once a year, because they know the injuries. But how else you gonna test your breast? Because you don't know how to look for the lumps. I teach women how to look for lumps in their breast, how to look for change. You got to know how to do it. Was she doing that? No, she was not. You got to know how to feel your breast. Know the bras you wear, and they contribute to the breast problems because of the wire. The wire leaches and hold stagnant. You got to know how to massage your breast. What oils to put on your breast to drain the breast, because your breast is part of what? Your lymphatic system. See? You don't know none of these things. They'll teach you nothing. But you then run around doing all this stupidness. Oh, this holistic doctor said this. This one said that. All bad information. You got to take care of the breast. There's certain foods, certain herbs you take daily. Why you think when you go to Asia, you don't find no breast cancer? No breast cancer in Asia at all. Why? Because they take the herbs every day. Every day they're on herbs. They're on the jubju. They're on Rimia for circulation. They're on natto ginseng. They're on red clover. You're a woman, you should be drinking red clover every day. Because the isovalins in the red clover wards off the breast from turning into a genetic cancer cell. Red clover. Chapel. Get a little free stuff. See? But you don't know nothing. I think the Asians eat all of this. They cook with the herbs and make they tonic soups. I took care of y'all. I made compounds with firm response. Lady was suffering from breast cancer, came to me, gave her a whole package. Took 3 packages. BR1C gene gone. Doctor, now her endocrinologist and OBGYN, they now is my clients. I could tell you stories upon stories. We heal and reverse and cure. Okay? That's what we do. We preserve your health. Cure means preserve. They don't want you to know that, because they want to reserve it for them. You eat native. If you cheat, okay, but clear the way south. You can't cheat, and go back to the reserve and expect health and healing. It don't work so. It's like borrowing money. You keep borrowing out of the same reserve, you have nothing. What do you think your health is? You done cheated it so much that it can't return. Because then now you go to the doctor and say, oh, the doctor can't help. The doctor cannot help you because he's not made to reverse diseases. He's made to diagnose. He's not made to, because remember, the medical doctor came out of the army background. Okay? The army background. Gunshot wounds, stab wounds, lost aperture of body parts, legs. They didn't learn nutrition. You get 2 weeks of nutrition in what you call it, school. I'm a nutripack doctor. I know what they know and 10 times more. Because I'm dealing with cell biology. I'm dealing with the behavior of structure, pigments. I'm dealing with the behavior of brain. We trust me, we do everything. We do everything. Everybody comes to us underground. My daughter, she got pregnant. Oh, she couldn't get pregnant. Took care of her in 2 cycles. Now she having a 3rd child. That's what we do. My other daughter, she got twins. You know what I mean? So we know what we're doing. Her mother had a high blood pressure out of the thing. They call me, oh, daddy, please help me, help mommy. All right, I help her. Now she got normal blood pressure, and she's a RN. She's a registered nurse. She's a registered nurse. Okay, so we know. So we know what we're doing. We've been doing this a lifetime. So order your packages. Any problems, I got you. Email me here. We're gonna open the website soon. I'm just finishing up some stuff, and then we're gonna open it up. Okay. In the meantime, order. Follow us on TikTok. Also, you can follow us on TikTok. All right. You can follow us on TikTok and subscribe, follow. Here, share the page so that way it can get monetized, because all the money go back to our business and our life. Again, with no third party company. I see clients, everything is referral. Or I do consultations, people online, this, that, okay? So we don't sell out, it's totally different. Y'all got a taste. This, I gave y'all baby food right here. And it's still great food, right? See what the brother say? Just learned a lot. Serious knowledge, you see? So email us at the email you see here. Subscribe, notify, put comments on the page. When I post this I'm going to post it up. Make sure to subscribe, like it, share. It costs nothing to subscribe and share. It costs nothing to put on the notify bell. It costs nothing to subscribe to the page. It costs nothing to make a good comment. Nothing. It's free. You just heard me for almost 85, almost an hour and 25 minutes for free. For free. Ain't cost you nothing. So imagine the great knowledge you're getting for nothing at a cost. Where else are you going to get this that you just heard? All right? So do your due diligence. Help us so we can continue helping you. It's a transfer of energy and time. Time and energy works together. If you don't use energy right and get return energy right, reciprocity, nothing happens. So everybody say they need me. Y'all need me here. Everybody, all my students, all of them, Doc, you need to go to YouTube. Doc, you need to go to TikTok. So I'm doing it, all right? We was on IG for 8 years. Thousands of people we cured. We shut it down because IG got mad because people were saying that I cured them. And what do you want me to have them to tell? That's their story. I can't tell nobody don't come on TikTok and IG don't tell the story. They're mad because they want me to buy promos and I don't buy nothing. Because you're not cutting me no check. Why would I pay for promotion when you're not cutting me a check? See, capitalism always is in place. They want you to pay and you ain't paying me. I'm the one doing the work. All you doing is spreading my video or limiting it. That's why y'all putting the like, subscribing to the page, comment helps send it out so they don't limit us. Because greatness is always limited. You know that, right? So let truth and righteousness lead and exalt its global nation of people. It set you free. So do the work. Follow us here. Subscribe to the page. Put a like, comment, email me for everything you want. A consultation, you book consultation, buy a package, you put together custom packages for your problem. Any problem, guarantee we got something for you. Okay? Guarantee you feel amazing. You'll be like, oh my God, well, that's why I didn't find you before. Because we're doing what nobody else could offer you and do. And we don't regurgitate the information. See how I talk and speak. So you already know. All right? Heal the world. Let this message find you good. Let you feel great. Share the page. Subscribe. Follow. Notify. Follow us here on TikTok. Email me in the email you see here. And get with us. All right?